Good day, everybody. It's Max, and welcome back to InfraSpace GIGA. That's right, where we're playing on the extra big maps, doing extra big things with not such a big city as we build it in the canyon itself. Hence the name Canyon City, you betcha. And in today's episode, of course, we're going to be doing all kinds of crazy things because that's what I usually do. And before we get started, I want to thank all recent subscribers as they scroll at the bottom of the screen. And, of course, everybody that catches the show later on because, of course, I appreciate that very much. Mr. O, how are you doing today? Have I melted all the rocks? No, I saved... Well, I mean, okay, I have melted a few rocks, but I like saving the pew-pew for the show, right? I mean, come on. I mean, literally blowing up the rocks is going to become part of this show until the end of the series now. So, I mean, that is what it is, people. All right, so with that, let's get the screen switched over, all the cool things in the world, and we'll have a look at what's going on. All right, so I got like a little bit of lag there. Okay, there we go. So obviously, we have two sectors up and running. Both sectors are fully level 6 and are just kind of waiting me to do things. We are, of course, one of the things we're going to do today is now that I've pew-pewed some of the rocks out of here. Awesome. I love that. We are going to expand. We'll probably expand this way a little bit with the city as we continue our way down the canyon. Of course, one of the things we want to do is I have pew-pewed some of the rocks away over here, and I've already fixed up some of this highway. I've already pew-pewed the rocks, so we're going to fix the rest of this highway. And another thing we want to do today is get the resources onto the main highway bus by attaching those resources up here. Obviously, our three main areas of VR education, robots, and computers/home appliances. The bus highway is one direction, right? It starts there at the very top and then runs all the way down here and zoom right by us all the way down to the bottom. So we need as much resources starting from at least past this point here. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to attach a few highways, do a few things, and of course we're going to play with the laser because that's the thing we do. We play with lasers. It's just so much fun. I mean, oh man, let me tell you, I don't know what it is. I just, me and the lasers, it's a great time. It's a great time. Where did I put my laser gun at? I have a laser gun up here somewhere. Because I have laser guns all over the place. There it is. Hello. What are you doing? Not much. Listen. Let's demonstrate to the fine folks at home pew-pewing. Yeah, let's go over here. This looks very ominous and dark and scary. But I've been pew-pewing like crazy. You betcha. Pew-pew. Do the pew-pewing of the things. It's awesome. I must admit, I really do enjoy this. Yep. There's just something about pew-pewing that's just a lot of fun. So as the laser of the pew-pewing, look at this. It's even pew-pewing that little tiny plant. It's just really awesome. Listen, Max, you forgot to push the other button for the sound. There you go. Look at that. Now they got sound, people. We got sound. So yes, we are slowly melting the rocks away, but we'll be doing a lot of that on camera because, I mean, come on. Everybody likes to see the pew-pew. I don't know if the little... well, I shouldn't have clicked away. I don't think the little stuff explodes really big, but the rocks, when the rocks are done, they explode. They make these great explosions. They're a lot of fun to watch. So I must admit, sometimes I just watch the pew-pewing of the laser. It's really good. Okay, so first things first. Let's get some people in. Zip. All right, let's do that. Obviously, we got to get some people going. It takes a little time for, obviously, Mr. Spaceship and stuff to deliver people. So we do got to kind of keep working on that. And hey, now that we got space lasers, because freaking awesome. Space lasers allows me to clean up some of the neighborhood. You betcha. I love space lasers. Like everybody should get one and just make it part of their daily routine. All right, let's get a few schools in here just so as we don't have to deal with that headache right away. Is that a good spot? Sure. Is that going to be a good spot? Sure. Yep, that works for me. Are we going to get good coverage there? Sure. And, oh, that's not going to give me good coverage. There's like that. Well, I mean, we're going to go with that anyway. And, I mean, it doesn't, again, I am not looking for the most efficient design here, right? We're just making sure we got lots of good coverage. So let's now work on housing. We have obviously a really nice pocket of methane here, so I don't really want to cover that up. And so we're going to have to deal with that. What do we got for population control? We got about 500 jobs available to us. So I think we'll do this little maneuver. We'll get some O2 planted around the edge, obviously. Where do you want to do food? We got this mega bridge in the way at the moment, but of course the mega bridge has to stay here for the time being. Okay, let's do this. We'll do that. Let's get some water control going on in here because that's a thing that's needed. Let's see. Where do you want to try and put some water down here? Sure. Let's do that. You're going to need it. Well, I mean, I probably only need 6 water to run this small sector. It's not a real big sector, right? It's not like it's oversized or anything like that. Let's double check the power. It's a little scary looking there. Right. So if you go now, I've done, I got about, I don't know what, about 30 tutorials, I think, or something like that. Some of my earlier tutorials, while I'm trying to focus on planting this stuff down, actually did a lot of that stuff. Like it did a lot of like title transition, a lot of pointing out specific items and stuff. The big trick to gaming on YouTube is the algorithm, right? And it's a time-sensitive thing. Basically, if you're not first or within like the first 3 people to put out a tutorial on a new game or a new item, you've missed the window. It's done. And of course, doing all them nice little titles and things takes extra time, right? Like, I mean, like I might only get like an hour to put a tutorial together, and that's the big trick, right? If you only get a little time to put a tutorial together, you really don't have a lot of time to then be like fancying it up, making extra titles, lots of inflow or any of that stuff. Like you're doing good sometimes just to be able to get enough time to record something and get it out as quickly as possible before YouTube basically leaves you in the dust, right? So in gaming circles and YouTube, basically this me playing games on YouTube is nothing, right? YouTube doesn't care about this at all, right? That's why you don't see like the view count numbers on this as you would a tutorial. The only thing that people are usually looking for when it comes to games on YouTube are tutorials, and you have to be one of the first out of the gate so as the algorithm gets you picked up. And because of that, basically it's how much editing time are you willing to put in versus what could be the extra 10 minutes of you not getting anything done, right? And so yeah, I used to focus on all that stuff and then realized, yeah, I'm actually just losing out. So it was like, okay, well, we haven't got time for the losing out, so let's make it happen, right? And then so that actually worked out. It just worked out that way. So that is what's going on. I love title transitions and all that, but literally, especially with a lot of tutorials I make now, literally, like for example, like 2 Point Campus, like the minute I get that game, I will play that game real hard for like the first hour and then have a tutorial out by like hour 3. Because if you haven't got a tutorial out by hour 6, you're done. It's all over, right? And unfortunately, I do work, I have a life and things. And because of that, time has to be, I'm already, whereas this isn't a full-time job or anything for me in any of that case. You just kind of, you got to look at it and say, okay, well, what are you not going to do? Well, I'm not going to worry about little I'm not going to worry about the little add-on titles and transition type stuff like that, right? So that's my $3.33 worth the worth the explanation as to what's going on in the world. And I don't know why I think there's a bug with this building. I really do. Like, they're really currently being delivered 34. Well, why aren't you delivering 40 or 50? Deliver 108 of it, because we're going to just keep using it. I know it drives me crazy. Like, they've got the facility set up to only hold 40 at a time. And the problem with that is because it uses 8 over 20 seconds, this means that your aluminum mining can only be so far away. And unfortunately, if your aluminum mining is farther away than that, like that 100 seconds, it's terrible, right? Yeah, so I think they got to really work on these numbers here. In this meeting, yes, is less editing, more time, right? Well, and again, like if you look at like some of my, well, one of my most viewed tutorials is my Evil Genius 2 tutorial, the first one, and it doesn't have a lot of title transition and stuff, but it does have some, and so does my one of my first Mr. Prepper tutorials. It has title transitions, and and you know, with time, I love putting that stuff in. But the big trick is that it takes extra time, and if it's any kind of popular game, you literally only have mere hours to get something working, right? Yes, and I'm not saying that it doesn't grant, but the trick is that if you can't get eyeballs in the first place, then it won't matter, right? Yes, great visuals are great for once they're here, but yeah, the problem is dropping a bigger one with visuals doesn't work. So I'm going to give you an example of that. So obviously, I did a tutorial for Xion one day before the game came out, and I was able to do that because I had the demo, right? And now the demo didn't go into the game very far, so I wasn't really able to make like a tips tutorial. I was able just to kind of give the best first hour of play video, right? Now that has gotten over 5,000 views since that's been published. The video that you did the little editing on, right? That video, right, which has what I consider to be even more extensive stuff and good information, has less than 200 views. And that's been in like 2 weeks, right? Timing is everything. And the thing is that, yeah, I mean, that second video has, I wouldn't call it better information, but I would call it like more better tactical information for playing that game. Yet it doesn't have the views because, as far as YouTube's concerned, it's done. That game is done, right? And it's not interested in showing that kind of stuff anymore. The algorithm, unfortunately, you got to think like a computer when it comes to YouTube. You can't afford to think like a human, right? It just doesn't work, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? And so you've got to play the game of the algorithm, and the algorithm says, okay, you have a lot of people, on release day searching for this game title, and of course tutorials are what people are looking for on that first day, and if you aren't like I said, within like the first 3 people, you're basically done, right? Like the algorithm just skips over you. So yeah, and yes, it's great if you can get people to stick around for that. By the way, we just fixed that rest of that highway, so the highway is straight. I should fix up these power lines too, right? But let's pause for that. Yeah, it's just the nature of the beast, right? It's the only problem with algorithms. Algorithms have it's the same issue as you post every day, and when you don't post, the algorithm thinks, oh well, you must be dead. No, I'm on vacation. Oh, sorry, computers don't take vacation. Yeah, but humans do. Yeah, well, computers don't. So too bad. Like, obviously you didn't post in the last 3 days, you must be dead, and I'm not gonna promote your channel anymore, right? So it's an unfortunate side effect of YouTube being it's an unfortunate side effect of automation in general, right? It's just it's poor design, right? And I hate to say that about YouTube because it's probably the fanciest of all the algorithms, but it's really bad, right? Right. So, and there are and that's the next thing I would talk about. Again, I would, as much as I would love the channel to be my career, it will not be a gaming channel that makes it my career, right? You have to have a unique perspective channel, or something that is very low profile in terms of, like, there's not a lot of it on YouTube, to be highly successful, right? Right, but then at the same time, posting every day is also bad, right? In fact, like some of the more famous channels I see and watch only post once a week, and now they are lucky enough that they kind of got into their genres early, and so they were like the groundbreakers for YouTube. So YouTube promotes them, even their one video a week, very heavily. That being said, I've known, for example, one thing I was into for a while was watching die-cast toy cars, right? So die-cast like Matchbox and old die-cast cars being restored. And there's a channel out there called Marty's Matchbox Makeovers, and he was one of the first to do it. And he would put out a video once a week, and sure enough, YouTube loved that man, right? It didn't matter what video he put out, he got promoted. Now, a little later on, there was a guy, so of course that whole genre picked up, and then the next thing you knew, as I go and stare at the city for a minute to make sure it's not exploding, because we want to make sure that everything's working fine here. Well, nothing's working, Max. You got it on pause because you're talking so much today. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, we got lots of people pulling in. Home appliances is going to be next. That's fine. We have way more than enough home appliances here. We got so many computers and home appliances for these, for this little sector here, that this is not going to be a problem. So yeah, upgrade, people. Upgrades. Do all the upgrading. In fact, you know what? I'll bet you I can even share these guys' food, because these guys probably have so much food that they're losing their minds, right? I'm going to be able to pull this off, and it's going to love me. So let's do this first, and then I'll continue talking on about die-cast cars, die-cast toy cars, because it too is a very interesting thing. So there, the city is looking good. We got people moved in. We got the upgrade. Yep, people are moving in. They're not moving in fast enough for my liking, people. Yeah, keep landing that spaceship and pumping out them little pink cars, would you? Thanks. I appreciate that. As we get ready to work on our next sector down here. We should have a look here at Robot Sector. So the Robot Sector, as you can see, I have cleaned it up. And of course, it's got its own intended stream highway here now. And at the same time, of course, we've got motors are its own dedicated resource, because motors are really only used in this particular case. As you can see here, we have more than enough robots to handle this requirement, and we have lots of spots ready to go. Listen, you should grab a laser beam. Yes, let's do that. Lasers. I like lasers. Lasers are awesome. Yep. Okay, what do you want to pew-pew now, Max? Let's go over here and pew-pew stuff, because I want to build this out today. All right, cool. Fire at will, Commander. All right. I love this thing. It's great. It's just, oh, I misclicked. No, come back, lady. Come back. You have to give me the laser back. Give me the laser beam back. There you go. Give me the thing. I did try using multiple laser beams. It ignores you, unfortunately. I was very bummed out about that. I mean, I had like half a dozen of these things set up, and I was like, yeah, let's laser beam. But it doesn't work. Boo. Anyway, so yeah, you can only use one laser beam at a time, I guess. It is a thing. You can build multiple, but like this station here, if I then choose another station and start targeting stuff, it's kind of glitchy. It doesn't work. It's kind of like it's almost like question marks as to what it's trying to do, right? So we've got this. This is where we're going to be working on today. We're going to add some more lots here, and of course we are now going to start working on attaching resources to the highway, starting on this end. And which means I do got to figure out a few things. Now I know the bottom three is iron, copper, and aluminum, and that's fine, right? Yeah, aluminum's highway 3, right? And now highway 5. I don't know what highway 4 is. Like I really don't know what highway 4 is. I think my plan was to use it for sulfur. And I just haven't done anything with sulfur. So I'm just going to double check the highway here. And while I'm checking the highway, I'll talk about Diecast Resurrection. So Diecast Resurrection was a guy, and he did up to 3-4 videos a week. And at the same time, he was doing 3-4 videos a week, and he was doing custom paint jobs. He was doing everything. And some of his stuff was really, really good. And he had to give it up. He couldn't, he wasn't getting the viewership. He wasn't getting the turnaround that he needed to make it viable, right? So here you have a guy that's putting out 4 videos a week with like a lot more in-depth content. And unfortunately, it is what it is, right? And now that market is pretty saturated now, right? Like there's several people out there doing die-cast cars now, and Marty hasn't even put out a video didn't put out a video for almost a year, and then he put out one video, and literally it blasted across the internet because Marty's Matchbox Makeovers was a big title for YouTube, and they know that he just has to put out a single video and people will watch it, right? So yeah, one thing you have to watch for is uniqueness. That highway's doing nothing, dude. Highway 4 is doing nothing there, so let's move down here. Hey, that looks like a Highway 4. What do you do? All right, well, let's go find out. I'm pretty sure you're sulfur, right? Yeah, that's exactly what you are. See, you are number 4 is sulfur. All right, so that's good. Number 5 is pink goo. Cool. All right, and I think number 6 was going to be my motor highway, but I've discovered that doing motors locally is a lot easier, and then just bring the resources to it, because I don't think Highway 6 has any. Doesn't have any connections at all. I could probably get rid of Highway 6, and that's the very back highway, of course. And yeah, like, I mean, there are no more other resources to put on here, so the bus has no other things, right? Yeah, so it's sulfur's Highway 4, and the pink goo's on Highway 5. I know one thing: even if you don't get attention, just keep doing it. Right? Again, I do this because I enjoy doing it, right? It's a consistency for me, right? Again, I needed some balance. I needed some focus on something else than like work and stuff like that. I needed that, and that's what this provides me, right? This provides me. Because, I mean, 1, I'm an entertaining guy. 2, though you guys have never really seen my face, I'm also very handsome. I mean, it's hard to be me. But 3, of course, it allows my mind to focus on other things besides work and or whatever, right? And I mean, I like playing factory games, right? I enjoy the logistics. I'm a logistics player. I like making things work, you know, combining things to make things work, and then the logistics to make A to B become C and move it to D, right? You know, I mean, it's just like coding, right? You know, if when you're coding stuff, you need information that's been selected or gathered here to get over there to then be displayed over there, right? And I mean, it's just, as much as I hate to say it, it kind of goes well with, you know, my background of computer architecture. At the same time, it's very relaxing. So that's just kind of, you know, this is the way my brain works, and it just kind of works out with me like that, right? So we've actually accomplished 2-3 things here already. I got my highway straightened out. We know what the lanes are. Lane 6 is a duplicate now. I don't know if I'll use lane 6 as like a backup for something. I guess I could always do that. What I'd like to do now is we'll double check this sector to see how well it's doing. Do I need to add more buildings to it? Home robots. I'm assuming they're on their way here. Now, one thing is that I do have to add a new gondola system here fairly soon, because obviously moving stuff all the way down there and then coming back here is getting slower and slower and slower all the time, right? I mean, this trip is getting pretty long, and we do want to line these up with the train stations, which maybe by the end we try to get the trains to work. I'm a little nervous about them. I think I'll probably do a save before we try the trains, because yeesh, you know, we don't want that to happen. At the same time, though, we are going to want to keep growing the city here a little bit. So let's add a few more houses and a few more things, just to kind of keep things rocking and rolling. Yeah, I see you. I see you there, city. I got you. Yeah, I know. Here, delete the extra housing. There we go. Do that. Do this. And what else do we need? Do you want to do that on the back side and put food in? Okay. There we go. And boom, boom. And something there. And you're going to grab some food here. Do we need all that? I'm doing what I'm doing on YouTube just because I would do it anyway for myself. Yeah, right? Exactly. You know, I mean, I'm playing these games anyway. Right? And that's what I was doing, right? I was playing these games, and like I said, I had this channel. You know, 10 years ago, when YouTube was all about cat videos, I tried to make a gaming channel 10 years ago, and it didn't go well because I was literally ahead of my time, right? I was ahead of my time. I literally needed time. I needed people to catch up to where I was. Unfortunately, by the time that I should have done it, I was too busy with my career, right? I was way too busy in life. And then, because I literally should have made the channel about 5-6 years ago and did it. But I made the channel 10 years ago, and it didn't really take off. Too many cat videos. Right. You know, and then, of course, then 6 years ago, would have been the right time, but I was too busy in my career. And now, of course, I've been told, you know, you need to find a life outside of your job, dude. So I was like, okay, dude, I'll go do that. And then that's how I got back into this, which is fine by me. This works out perfectly all right. So yeah, it may, my timing is, I got great ideas. It's just my timing stinks. So that's where we are. Okay, we've added some more cities. So while that keeps growing and expanding and population keeps jumping, let's now actually work with a gondola here. And so as we can kind of get ready for maybe trying to do trains again here towards the end of the episode. And of course, me putting these gondolas in these awful, terrible areas. Listen. Where's the gondolas at? I don't know. There they are. Okay, cool. Flip. Rotate. Yep. Rotate all the things. Are you going to try and put it there? Okay, cool. Are you going to put the other end down here? Yep. Okay, how about that? Sure. Is that going to be okay? I think it'll be all right. It's too bad this. It's too bad this will all break later. Now I'll show you why. Let me take you down to this one. So unfortunately, I think they got some bugs to work out. But as you can see here, even though it temporarily puts in the groundwork for the gondola system, after you save and exit the game and then you come back into it, it breaks it, right? Like you get these floating pylons and things. So yeah, I mean, this looks good right now, but it won't look good in about an hour from now. I'm just letting everybody know that. It looks great for the moment, right? Well, I don't know if I inspire people, but I'm glad, you know what? I'm just glad you're doing what you're enjoying doing, right? And I'm glad it's going well, right? Yeah, of course, you know, and like I said, if it like tutorial stuff is really hard. And I don't do a lot of video stuff now because, again, it's a time balancing thing, right? Video, of course, takes longer to put together than live streaming. Live streaming has its own challenges, don't get me wrong, right? Like if you're not feeling good that day, well, then you don't live stream and there's nothing there, and then YouTube punishes you for that. But at the same time, live streaming does make it easier in terms of like trying to put stuff together, right? So yeah, it's a catch-22. I don't think you can't win. You just can't win. Okay, let's get this road hooked in. If we're going to do something with this train station, Max, then you got to hook this road up. Okay. Let's do this. Wow, that's pretty fancy there, Max. Okay. Do you want to try and hook this road in here? Yeah, sure, why not? What do you want to do now? I mean, this looks so good. Build curve road. I have never used this tool. So let's see if I can't make this look a little better, right? Yeah, build curved road. Now, I can actually do this. I know I can do this. I've done this before. I just had to think about it for a second. There we go. Do something like that, dude. And then if I do this, oh, my bad. Listen, my bad. Turn that around. All right, there we go. Yeah. No, stop playing with the button. Yeah, click on the road. There we go. I haven't played with these tools in a while, right? So they can be real finicky. Are you really? You're not gonna give that to me, are you? All right, do that, dude. There we go. Yeah, okay, you gotta click on the little circle. Yeah, you gotta turn that up that way. There you go, look at that. That's a pretty nice looking road there, Max. I must admit, that's not too bad. There's no train for it, but I mean, it looks good, right? Santis, what's up? I hope it's all good in the neighborhood. You know how it is. I know that's why I don't stream every day. I actually can't make the stream schedule even for myself. Yeah, now, I mean, it's, you know, like schedules, all that stuff, right? Now, the nice part about videos, of course, is that you can schedule them way ahead of time. You can do all kinds of crazy things, right? Whereas live streaming, of course, it's a lot harder to take care of that stuff. All right, so we got you hooked up, dude. I'm actually pretty happy about this. We got you hooked up. Okay, you know, you probably should hook this one up too. That way, when everything goes live, you'll be able to do things. Really? You think that's an idea? I mean, look at the traffic on this road. This is like crazy traffic road. Listen, you're probably going to have to do that, dude. Listen, you're going to do this, and they're really going to hate you for this. Listen, can we maybe make them not hate me so much? All right, let's do that. Let's back that up to here. Okay. Kill that off for like 4 seconds. Put that down there. Put that in there. What I'm doing is You in Hawaii? I wish. I'm in Latvia. I'm in snowy. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. It's just a little snow. There's nothing wrong with a little snow. It's perfectly all right. You know, here in Connecticut. Oh, I still got curvature turned on. Turn that off, dude. Listen. Yeah, turn the curvature off. We'll bring it back some other time. There we go. Do this. Do this. Do that. Sure. Just in case you do need to send something out by train. There we go. So at least the road is now hooked in, and I'll clean it up after we actually have trains being the main delivery function of things. Which means you also need a road over here, dudes, because this road is for this. Now, I don't know if it will be smart enough to figure this out. I'll be very interested to see if it is or not. So basically, obviously, the other stations will pick up from here and get delivered along the route, but computers really don't need to go anywhere from this station. They can just be delivered. I wonder if it's going to be smart enough to put the computers into the building, but then say, well, you know, 20 of those computers are going down there, so it will just kick them back out of the building, right? That's a thing, right? I didn't want to trigger Nightbot with a wave. What are you talking about? Nightbot should be leaving you alone at the moment, dudes. I mean, you're just as powerful as Nightbot, so it should be perfectly fine, right? Unless I messed it up, of course. Now that could be a thing. Okay, so how's our rocket doing? We were making stuff. Are you still doing that, dude? Like, what are you doing over here? 6 incoming. Like, what do you like? Talk to me, spaceship. I guess we haven't even looked at the spaceship on this episode. It's been making this orbital scanner for a while, so let's have a look at that. It's at 350 at 400. Okay, well. And this is a totally useless one for me because I've got all the research done. Orbital scanners give you a free research, but when you have all the research done, you don't get anything for free anymore. It's just kind of there, right? So I was just getting this one out of the way. Of course, FTL, all the engine stuff needs gas, which of course we're going to hit. The passenger deck needs like home appliances and computers. That's fine. But the radiation shield and the thermal systems are mostly around steel. I would like to get radiation shield up and running here today. So hopefully the orbital scanners will finish up here shortly. So we've got 2 train stations hooked up, and of course that's going to then feed you guys down in there. Now, do I want to try and put sulfur on trains and deliver it too? Right now I have sulfur kind of its own little dedicated thing here, right? I'm assuming that the sulfur trucks are, hopefully sulfur's okay. I mean, it's only got 2 little miners out here. Are you guys doing all right? I guess. I mean, you guys look okay. You guys look pretty happy. 2 little miners are out here. They're pretty happy. So that sulfur is only used for one thing, and that's for these farms, right? So the farms are for the fertilizer factories. I could try and deliver them by highway onto train, though, right? Maybe that's an experiment for another time. Maybe that's a thing. Oh, okay. It's the trigger command for him. Oh, I didn't know that. It will trigger NB? I don't know. I have no idea what it will do. Well, I mean, yeah, I know. Nightbot's intelligence quotient is pretty low. Okay, let's not give him a lot of credit. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's Nightbot. All right. We've just accepted the fact that Nightbot is Nightbot, and sometimes it's going to do weird things. You know, maybe I'll give him a little more intelligence one day, if I ever find the time, right? There you go. Hey, at least he told you that. Like, that's pretty scary. Okay, let's actually work on a little bit of this, because of course a couple of things I'd like to do. If we're gonna try and put trains on here today, We're going to have to, I would like to work on this parking lot a little bit. And that way I can get ready to line this up properly for hooking this in. Hey, Laser, what's up? Oh, yeah. You're just pew-pewing the things, right? I know. It's awesome. Let's see if we can't get this straightened out a little bit. Do that. Do this. Wow, that was really bad. Yeah, there. Do that there, Max. Awesome. Work your way down here. Do you want to do this, or do you want to straighten up resources first? Let's do a little bit of the parking lot, and then we'll do resources, and then we'll come back and do a little more parking lot, and then we'll try to finish it up with a train. Okay. Wow, that's a little bit gumption of you, but whatever. Okay, so... Hey, it's fine. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So 1, 2, 3. That means that's gonna start there. It's gonna come down to here. I was gonna skip this. I was gonna skip this area because of the rock, or because that iron is there. I mean, there's a lot of good resources here, right? But we are not really short for iron, so I think I'm just going to cover this one up. I'm not going to worry about it too much. So we should be all right. Okay, so let's come back up here, and we got to go to this road. This has got to be 13. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. There you go. You do this. You do that. You do this. Which is to here and that, and then you're going to do that again to there, and now this is going to be our little cube in here. Do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Is it 4? Yep. That's one too long, dude. There you go. There are all his commands, even his custom ones. That mostly probably you, yeah. That most probably you made. At least Stream Elements Bots doesn't have high, and you included that as a default build. Yes. So when I was doing that whole high command, I was trying a couple of different ways, and I mean, it works fine most of the time, right? It's just a little tricky, of course, when you go to say hi to other people. And yeah, I'll probably come up with a better solution for it a little later, but hey, it is what it is. Again, I only had so much time to work on that stuff. Hobby, part-time thing, right? So, you do what I do what I do what I do, and I do what I can is the moral of the story on that one. So that's 1, that's 2. And this is Highway 5, dude. So you need that one right there. All right. Next one. 1, 2, 3. Put that on the ground. And, yep. You got to do that right from there, dudes. We'll switch to this road and get the rest of this in. Boom. Now, here is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 1 is 13. There we go. Do that. Do this. So, I am kind of hoping that one day they do blueprints. Because, don't get me wrong, I mean, I love coming up with nifty designs that are very cool and stuff. At the same time, though, this is where a blueprint would be really, really nice, right? Where I could just say, yeah, do all the things. Just copy paste the road, and away it goes, right? It would make this a lot easier. And that's the only, in fact, big challenge I find with the game when it comes to doing large scale stuff is you get a bunch of patterns. I get my builds here, and they're great, but it does take a long time. There are times in the evening hours where I am literally just doing nothing but drawing out patterns in the sand, right? Yeah, well, and that's, well, but that's programming, right? You want to trigger an item, but not trigger it under other circumstances, right? So, for example, the hello trigger, where then he talks to you. He has several different sayings of what he will say to you when if you say hi to him, right? But obviously, if you're saying hi to somebody else, we don't want that trigger to happen. But I haven't written enough logic into him yet to say, okay, when the person just says hi, do your trigger. But if the person says hi to another person or another person in the chat, avoid the trigger, or do a different set of triggers. Like maybe say like like have a conversation with the two people at once or something, right? But that kind of logic, chances are Nightbot's not going to be able to do it. And at the same time, I just, the amount of time it takes to play around with that kind of stuff is, let's just say it's not in the cards as of today. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 13 it is. Thank you very much. And after this one, I think we'll straighten out some of our aluminum and those types of items. So this will take this. We'll also check that next sector just to make sure that it's coming along. Make sure that we're not blowing anything up there. Push the button for this. Do this. And do that. And there's 1. There's 2. And 1 more. There's 5. Which is really number 3, but it's purple goo. All right, there's the purple goo. It's all good. Yeah, it's not if you program it, right? I mean, Nightbot really is just a running engine. It's literally just a running engine, right? So see, Sanchez says hi, Nightbot automatically sees the hi and responds back to Sanchez, right? But of course, there's not enough logic in him, for him to respond back, right? So, okay, now you're just going to make Nightbot work really hard for the next 5 minutes. That's fine. But I mean, it's just a logistics engine. If you give it enough logic, I'm sure it could figure it out. The question becomes: does it have the commands available in its thing to do it? And of course, Mouse is going to say hi, and of course, Nightbot's going to say hi back to Mouse. Or is it fancy, like moose, right? Is it like moose socks, right? It could be mouse socks, which is fine. Mice possibly need socks, but if it's moose socks, it's upper class moose, right? No, it's mouse. Funny. That's too good. You know what? Maybe I'll just kind of avoid it. You know what? If it's mouse, press 1. If it's moose, press 2. Let's do it that way. That way, we'll definitely know then, right? All right. So let's actually switch over some aluminum here. Let's go. In Scotland, we don't have moose. Well, I do have moose here in Canuckland, so I guess it's a mouse. So yeah, it's a thing. Okay, we got level 6 buildings here in Sector 3. That looks good. So we're getting lots of population. You're looking for home robots. Of course you are. You're going to be losing your mind. You know what? Let's do a little test while we're here. So this is not good. This is really bad. Why is this like this? This is not good. This is really, really bad. Really? You all need this one bridge, right? No, this is not good. Listen. Really? This is why you got to keep an eye on these road connections, people. Because I'll tell you, it gets messy really fast. And I can understand why they make the connections like they do like that, but I'll tell you, a lot of times stop crisscrossing traffic. Don't do that. It drives me crazy. Yeah, get in here. Launch more gondolas. I'm a little worried that you guys aren't launching these gondolas fast enough. Yeah, launch all the gondolas. Now this does have me concerned, because obviously we got a tailback going on here for like 400 miles. So let's see if we can't fix that. If we do this little maneuver, will this take some of the pressure off? I hope so. Let's do this. Check the link. Check the link for commands. Okay, there we go. Listen, give me this thing. Will you guys use this as part of the deal? Well, they would if you gave them a road down here, you goof. You do realize they're not going to use anything down here unless you give them a road. Okay. You don't have to be mean to me. Well, okay, so let's go out this way. It's very weird how they do this. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. And we'll come in here, do that, do that. All right, so now that gives that, I mean, that's a gondola route. I don't know if they can figure this out or not, right? I mean, I'm very curious about this. Look, first of all, I know you guys just lost your mind when I did that. So here, do this, and do that. Yeah, y'all don't have to move over. Yeah, that's good, guys. Yeah, you don't have to move over lanes. What I do want to know is, do they figure this out, right? Can they go through this even if they can deliver here directly, right? I don't think they can. I don't think it's going to be smart enough to do it. Which is a bit of a bummer because, I mean, the solution is easy. You just build a bridge over this and hook the road onto the other side, and that's great. What's later? As in, I'll see you later. Later, Gator. In a while, Crocodile. Yeah, like see you later. Yeah, it's lead speak for later, right? It's later, right? Right? Yeah, it's all later. It would be good if they had lorries that could store more and deliver to places with one vehicle. Yeah, so, well, okay, first of all, storage can be changed. You can actually do that in the settings, right? Easy, medium, and hard actually changes the amount that each truck will take. So on easy, now, which I'll come back to that. So like on easy, I think it's four boxes. On medium, it's 2 boxes, and on hard, it's 1 box. Now, as for the second part of that, yeah, it's too bad, like, trucks themselves can't take more than 1 item, because that would be nice, right? Like, if, you know, I mean, I can understand the way they're doing it, but at the same time, it would be kind of convenient if the trucks, oh, really? Dude, you got, like, this little mini lane road of things here. What are you doing? You should replace that road. Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. Well, I need roads today, and I need them roads to work. So, let's go. Okay, do the things. And of course, this road is not permanent. I mean, this was supposed to be a temporary road for just fixing things. This is a really long road. Okay, well, keep going. What do we got here? Listen, do that. All right, well, that's fine, I guess. Let's do it that way. That's probably going to be terrible, but we'll see what happens. So that'll give us something to do there. It really is too bad, though, that this pattern here isn't going to work. Now, where am I? Right. So lorries, yeah. Now, let's go back to that first part of that question where the lorries could store more than deliver more. Now, you would think, okay, if I change the settings to where the trucks deliver 4 instead of like 2, that would be better, right? Except it's not. What happens is, so let's say the city says, okay, I need like, let's say this building here says I need 4 things or whatever, right? I need 4 of something, right? So let's say this building up here is going to give them the 4 of something. If if the building only has 3 of them, no truck will leave here until it has 4 of them. So what happens is this building, like let's say it takes, I don't know, takes like 60 seconds to make 4 of something, right? Well, now I'm having to wait 60 seconds to get the 4 of something. But if it had the 1 of something and I told the truck that it could leave after just 1, it will actually leave and start delivering that. And what happens is that when your trucks can hold more, it actually can cripple your city, because if this building here was waiting for at least 1 of those things to get delivered, what happens is that the building, of course, will then collapse and then, of course, makes a total mess. So it's really quirky. Like, it sounds like a great deal to deliver more in a single truck to reduce traffic, but at the same time, it actually kind of cripples you if you have it too hard or too easy, because it waits too long at the factory to fill the truck, and then the buildings collapse before it happens. So that's why I play on medium mode. Not because I couldn't play hard mode. I mean, I don't care about the mode, right? After building multiple cities and, doing multiple series in this game, I could play the hard mode, but I find like easy mode actually cripples you. It's actually worse to play in easy mode, which is why I would suggest to any new player to start in medium mode, because it actually delivers more stuff faster. Yes, you're going to have more traffic on the road, but traffic's actually really easy to deal with. You just got to divide your city into dedicated sectors, and then traffic's not a problem anymore, right? So yeah, it's you really got to watch it. So it's just kind of. I would definitely go with, if I was to start the game, if I was a new player to the game, I definitely wouldn't be choosing easy mode. And of course, by keeping your city divided into sectors, it prevents city crashing. Now, I am cheating that this time, because we're going to use trains for this, because Noko loves trains. And trains kind of add messiness to the mix, because now this is being treated as one big city instead of 3 separate little cities, and because of that, if something happens here, the whole thing will collapse instead, right? So I don't know, Sanchez. After 30 years of being in computers, I'm a little leery of face reveal. It's pretty simple. There's a lot, I hate to say it, there's a lot you can do with a person's face, right? I've worked in, computer security and design and stuff for 3 decades. And in that time, it is just so easy for it to become out of control really fast. Right? I've just seen too many bad things happen to outweigh the niceness of seeing someone's face, right? That's why I don't have a camera, right? It's not that I wouldn't show my face. Like I said, I think I'm a great looking guy myself. But that being said, the problem with it is it's the 21st century, and a lot of people do a lot of bad things when it only takes one bad person to do something, right? Better question. When will you do beer drinking at Max's place? That's probably a never. Considering my IBS, I can barely control anything with drinking. It's probably really bad. So we'll have to see how that one goes. All right, so we've got trains hooked up. The city's coming along really good. This sector's like basically done. You got to put more housing in here, dude. Let's get some housing in, and I would like to now get the aluminum shift over, right? Do you think you got enough food to handle these? I'm probably okay for food. I think we're all right. Okay, so let's get that section in. Let's now go play with some aluminum and a few other things. Laser. Where's the laser gun? Yes, good timing. You just finished. Awesome. Listen, give me the laser gun. Boom. I love lasers. Lasers are the best. Okay. Prepare for the pew-pewing of the lasers. Yeah, see these rocks? See that guy? Yeah, bye-bye. Get this junk out of my way. Yeah, goodbye. Get out of here. Go on. Yeah, we'll just add some of that. And some of that. We'll add some of these. And I love this thing. It's just awesome. Save the plants. Well, you know what? I haven't targeted any of the plants there. I just targeted all the rocks. We'll see all the floating plants there shortly. I believe this one's already cleaned out though, so we can start working on this one. And you notice I did not hurt the plants. I left the plants alone. That was very nice of me. I know. So we want to now engage this road into the network. Of course, I temporarily hooked it into the network, but I would like a more permanent connection here into our road bus, right? So I am actually going to give it 2 roads, and let's see. We'll go with at least 2 roads. Do you want to start back here and then like put your first road in and then kind of work? Well, I should get my laser gun because this rock's in my way. And, well, yeah, but he's not in that much way, Max. Gee whiz. Like, calm down, dude. He's not in that much of the way. He's only a little bit in the way. All right. Let's get this guy down here anyway. Oh, dude, that was crooked. What are you doing there? Save the plants. Dude, let me tell you, I'm not very good at saving the plants in most of these games. I can be pretty brutal. Okay, yep, come on, put that in there. All right. Highway 5 is purple goo, so you do that. There we go. Yeah, Pele, how about it, huh? I mean, it wasn't like he was young, right? But I mean, you know, Pele, I mean, even as a kid, when I was a kid, you know, Pele, the soccer player, was like, you know, I mean, he was like the player. Like, I mean, there was everybody else. And then, I mean, literally, he was the first name that you kind of grew up with when it came to, well, here in Canada, it would be soccer, but, you know, in most of the world, it would be football. I mean, he literally was synonymous with the sport. You know, I will say that. Let's see. You might become the PewDiePie. Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm better looking. That being said, in the gaming space of things, I won't hold my breath on it. All right. I mean, we'll be realistic here. I mean, you know, and nothing else. I am always very realistic, and being realistic means chances are, getting 100 million followers is probably not going to happen today. Like I said, I was too early to the party when I made the channel. Like I said, 10 years ago, cat videos were the rage. In fact, the amount of hate I got for making a gaming channel 10 years ago was crazy. It was like what is this waste on here? And blah, blah, blah. Oh, it was terrible. Oh, man, the amount of hate I got. It was crazy. You know, 10 years ago to make a gaming channel. I still remember that. It's like, really? Like, this is a great idea, guys. This is a really good idea. And it was like, nope, nobody wanted to hear that at all. Like, it was really bad. But it is kind of funny, you know. And like I said, had I just waited like 3-4 years and done it, it probably would have worked out a lot better. But yeah, unfortunately, by the time it had started to catch on, I was full blown into my career, and I didn't really have time to turn around, right? Well, yeah, I mean, Pele, I mean, it's hard not to know who he is. I mean, he was he's just a very famous dude. Now, did I just put way too many miners in there for my own good? Probably. Is that going to be a problem? No, not really. It shouldn't be a problem. I think it's going to be okay. Well, I mean, you have a power problem at the moment, but that's easy to take care of. Watch this. In fact, if you just do this little maneuver, and then move this down a little bit, and move this over here, and then put this one in. Oh, put that in. I don't know. Is that going to be enough power? Yeah, 225 is enough. 210 is all they need. Yeah, I mean, like I said, as a kid, when it came to literally playing soccer outdoors, I mean, even I didn't know. I mean, as a kid, I didn't know anything about any place else in the world. But I knew who Pele was, right? I mean, he is a very big sports icon and probably a person of importance, that's for sure. Listen, I want you to use the new highway. I don't want you using this old highway anymore. Use this highway. Do that because I'm hoping you guys will like that highway more, and it will be great. I realize you guys want to use this highway because it's slightly shorter, but you're going to get over yourselves. I sound like I'm in my 20s. Oh, that's so nice of you. Buttering me up will get you everything, dude. Well, that's because, again, being in computers for 30 years, I am showing my age nowadays, but computers has been an industry that keeps you young, right? Like, I mean, I have to be up with the lingo all the time, and, so, and the people, a lot of people I work with are in their 20s, right? Like, I mean, I've had to literally go through, like, 30 years of 20-year-olds all the time. I work with 20-year-old programmers all the time. I work with 20-year-old developers and BAs and a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm hip and cool. Oh yeah, I'm all the things. I got it all under control. That's what I tell myself anyway. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. But you know what? People think I'm hip, and it's hip to be square. Look that up. Yeah, it's hip to be square. Do. Oh man, the 80s and 90s are so awesome. But anyway, okay, so that is purple goo. I never remember the name of it, but we got purple goo now on the highway, in its a proper location that I'll call it, because really purple goo has to come in first because it's needed here first, and so of course that's what we got going on, because these guys like their purple goo. Look at that. Oh, it's iridium ore. Is that what the purple goo's called? Whatever. You'll notice here I did do a slight configuration change to my blueprint, if we're calling them that. Of course, I did only have 2 holo display factories to this. I did take out one of the nanotube factories and turn this building on its side so as I could fit this third one in. Now, it turned out that I am making enough nanotubes out of the 11 factories that we are not running short. It's close, but it's not short. So you'll notice here there's like one factory up here that has like 8 in it. So it's putting out just enough. The ratio of 11 to, what did we got here? 3, 6, 11 to 9 is just enough to keep up with that, right? Because these things here, they're one every 50 seconds, right? But you get 2 of them out, so that's really 25 seconds. And these, of course, is every 90 seconds, right? So, but you need 3 of them. So, of course, that's 30 seconds. So you have 125 and then needed for 130, which means basically the 11 to 9 ratio is working quite well enough to get enough out the door to make these guys all happy. So just to kind of point that out. If you check my channel, right? Just give me a second. Let me tab out here for a second. The channel, blah, blah, blah. There's like that thing there. It tells me how old my channel is. Give me a second. It'll take me a few seconds here. About the channel. Yeah, March of 2010 is when I made the channel. Yeah, 13 years ago, people. 13 years ago. that's when I made the channel. And like I said, 13 years ago, I was slaughtered. I was slaughtered for making a gaming channel. It was like, what? Games? Who wants to show games? And you got to remember, 13 years ago, there was no OBS or any of that stuff, right? Like, you had to use real junky video recording software at like 360p, and of course none of the games, and I mean, I think the resolution would have been like, you know, well, most resolution was usually 640 by 480 because we weren't even using the 4:3 ratio then, or we weren't using 16 by 9 then. It was still 4:3, and at the same time, most games didn't have any higher resolution. It was all crazy, right? I needed to do more cat. Yeah, I needed more cat videos. So yeah, I mean, it's just the way it worked out, right? It's just the way it worked out. Let's see. Are you going to do a train today, Max? Sure. Am I going to pay for it? Probably. I'm really scared. But it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, Max. You can do it. You can do it. Sure. Okay. Well, if you say so. Hopefully the city doesn't blow up. Why don't you save the city before you try this little experiment that you're about to do? That's probably a good idea, Max. You should do that. Sure. All right. Well, then let's do that. We haven't moved the aluminum yet. Did you want to do that first? Yeah, let's move the aluminum first, so as when I do the save and then try the trains, it's the only difference in the map. So you can see here, I'm pulling aluminum in, but I'm doing a direct involvement into that. I want the aluminum to come out here and join up. Turns out, VR doesn't use aluminum. So everything up before this point, you don't need aluminum for it. So this is why you'll see here, I have blasted with my laser cannon. Oh yeah, I've blasted with the laser cannon an opening to get out to the highway before we get to robots, because robots do use aluminum and they want it. Oh yeah, pew-pewing the things. Just keep pew-pewing. How's our spaceship doing? Are you finally get that done yet? Finally, orbital scanners is done. Awesome. So how about you go for a nice simple radiation shield? Oosh, that's 600. That's 6,000 concrete, or 3,000 steel. I mean, yeah, okay, whatever. Just do it. Yep, wrong button. Yes, wrong button. Do that. You're shooting the pew-pew laser. Let's zip across the map here. I got to tear these out here, right? Or we'll never get enough concrete going on. Tear these out. Thank you very much. You can stay. You guys got to go. Tear these out for a minute. Unfortunately, the poor game isn't quite smart enough to say, hey, you know what you should do? Deliver all that steel to my spaceship. Do that. I mean, I got over 328,000 concrete. But, you know, and that's really a bummer. Like, I'm storing all this concrete in this steel, but it won't use it for the spaceship. It's really, like, I think that's going to have to be something that they add into the game. Like, I should be able to have storage and build up a bunch of storage. So as when I start working on the spaceship, it just should use my storage, right? It should just start taking stuff out of storage, right? No, it doesn't really have a priority system. I guess that's another solution to the problem. You know, you could put in like a priority system. Yes, you do have districts, right? But that's really, I mean, that would get real ugly. Yes, I could put districts in, like, you know, I could say, hey, concrete, you know, and draw a concrete district. And then, I mean, what do we got here? That's robots, blah, 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 all the things. I mean, you could do this, right? Like, you could draw a concrete district. Are you going to let me draw this thing or not? Yeah, drag the mouse cursor between districts to create an export rule. I know what I want to do, dudes. Don't give me a hard time. Right? So I could do this, right? And zippy zip. And then, of course, I could come over here and say, okay, I want you guys, all you guys, right? Right here. Zip. And then I take Mr. Concrete here, and I take this, and I have to drag this, right? So you got to drag this all the way over here, right? And I point it to that, and I say, okay, all concrete now goes delivered to that. But it still doesn't use what I have in storage, okay? So in this case, it's just easier for me to pull the buildings off, and then the only thing concrete can do is deliver to that building over there. So, I mean, districts are great for nuance, very specific items, but one-way roads and segregation actually works better, right? So, I have a tutorial on districts, about how you can use food districts to, get specific things to happen. But segregation works just as well, right? And it allows for more control and also prevents city collapsing, right? So this food area is only dedicated to this block. And because it's only dedicated to this block, I know I don't have to worry about this city starving itself to death if something happens to this sector over here, right? So it's just a challenge. But I could say I could highlight this, right? I could highlight this as a district, highlight this cube as a district, and then just point the arrow from these into this cube, and it would only deliver food from these into this cube, and that would work as well. It's just it just takes more work to make it all run, right? Districts, they do work really good, but unfortunately they still won't use my storage. Now, that being said, we're gonna take all that out. Go away. Just go deliver my concrete, and don't be slow about it, guys. Yeah, just deliver my concrete already, would you? Gee whiz. There we go. Yep. Thank you very much. So that's our district thing. But there's no way to actually have perpetual storage of stuff. You can store steel, you can store concrete, but you can't store anything else, and you can't use that storage for items. So it's a little bit of a bummer. So like storages can't be set to empty, balance, or full. Nope. You can't do squat with them. It's like, oh look, you're storing lots of concrete and steel, and an enemy, and the drill. Oh yeah, we should put that drill in today. That is the thing we want to do. So we should put the drill in today. That was the other thing we were going to do, and then maybe I'll pew a rock here and get the drill and the laser. Yeah, super freaking laser beams. That's awesome. Oh man, I love laser beams. So let's go for one drill. All right, get the drill in here. Do the drill things. Do the stuff. Boom. There we go. So to drill, we gotta build it. Oh, gee whiz. Well, we're not building it right now, dude. You will have to wait. I'm busy with the spaceship. So I'll let it build up and do the stuff and the things in a little bit. And then, of course, once we get it up and running, we'll have a spaceship. I got to get this aluminum hooked in so we can get this train done. All right, so let's do that. You got a pile of aluminum here. You've pewed this away. I don't know how much of them plants are going to give me a hard time, but we'll find out. And you need to take that highway out here, dude. So, highway. Do that. Are you giving me a hard time here? Yes. Why? Aw, because you didn't pew them rocks away. Oh, darn it. You pewed some of the rocks, but you didn't get all the rocks. Did you? No. Which means you're going to have to do this temporarily. and then you'll have to finish the pew-pewing of the rocks later. All right. Let's see. Silly rocks. Tricks are for kids. All right, yeah, back that up there. Yep, give me the road. Give me the road. There you go. Yep, come up there and come over here, and we'll clean this up. Oh, I really hate it when the game does that. All right, there we go. We got it all cleaned up. We'll get it all straightened around. Excellent. Excellent. Obviously, I got to do some more pew-pewing. There's a big suction cup rock here on top of more of aluminum. And I'm going to have to clean up some of these little tidbit things here shortly. But we do want to get the aluminum out past this rock so as we can do the things. Why are you cranky? Well, you're cranky because I haven't finished the road yet. That's not fair. You don't get to be cranky at me for not. Now what are you doing, game? Holy smokes! Now you're doubling back on yourself. Give me a break. Look, just give me this road. Gee whiz. Okay, there we go. It's perfectly fine. What happens if the storages are on another road, not directly after the factory? They'll use them. Oh, they'll use them. In fact, the worst thing you can do is put them storage boxes on any road network which is even close to your city. That is the worst thing you can do. So, storage is only used for two things: concrete and steel. And of course, I speak about this in another tutorial. One of the things, there are literally 4 sectors that you should have when it comes to this game, right? So you should have a dedicated concrete sector that is not joined to any other part of your game, right? Now, I did join this one up to build the spaceship, but after that spaceship is done, I'm going to cut this back off, and this is dedicated to itself, right? All it does is make me concrete. Steel is your second dedicated option. So again, I have it temporarily feeding the spaceship, but after it's done, I will cut this off. And again, this should not be attached to your city or anything else at all, right? And it should have its own little storage depots and everything. Obviously, the third thing is science. Science should be its own little in-house build, right? Like, you shouldn't have it attached to your city in any way. Again, I do have it attached to the concrete and steel at the moment because we had to share the resources for building the spaceship or fixing the spaceship. But again, once the spaceship's repaired, this stands alone on its own little platform and will only be used for the drill, right? To make red signs for the drill. And this thing will run all by itself. And then, of course, the fourth sector is the city itself, right? And, joining in the stuff. That way, because one of the biggest traffic problems is if you hook concrete and steel up to the rest of your network, the amount of traffic created by the cross traffic kills your city all the time. And in fact, you can see that in a lot of beginners where they they'll have their depot. They'll have a depot in the city, and they'll be like, "Why do I have so much traffic?" and blah blah blah. The first thing you should do is just get rid of all your depots and separate your concrete and steel, so as it takes all that traffic away. That's why, look at the city. This city doesn't use any piping. It doesn't use I don't use piping, right? And there's not a lot of traffic on these roads. This is very easily handleable, right? There's nothing going on here. There's traffic because people have to go to the park and they got to go to the school and they got to go to the arena, right? But there is not a lot of traffic here, and there shouldn't be. But the second you put concrete and steel on this, you'll lose your mind, right? At this moment, you could move the launch platform closer to the concrete. I could, actually, but I'm enjoying my mega bridge. So, come on. What kind of roller coaster fun can you have as a driver on this bridge? I really wish you could do car follow. I would really love to go across this bridge. But they don't. But they don't allow. Like, there's no way to do that. Like when you click on a car, like there's no yes, like it will show you the car, but it won't let you say, like, I can't click on this and say like follow the car, because I mean this would be fun, right? I mean, you could make some really crazy tracks and have a great time, but unfortunately you can't follow the vehicles. So I do wish you could do that, but it is what it is, right? Aluminum dude, stay focused, stay frosty, do this. All right. In fact, let's pause up here for like 30 seconds, because these miners have like all kinds of stuff in them, and you don't want to lose that stuff. So let's do that. Flip, all the things, flipping. Okay, cool. Are you going to sneeze here in about 10 seconds? Maybe. If you rub your nose enough, maybe you won't. That would be awesome. Okay. Can we put that over here? Yes, that plant's still giving me a hard time. See, this is why we don't try to save the wildlife. You leave plants like this, the next thing you know, holy smokes, everybody wants a piece of the pie. Right? Okay, well, listen, road, we're going the other way, so we will flip that around. That's going to be very angry with me here for a minute, but I'll fix it shortly. Look, see? Only takes one little plant, and now I got to go all the way around it. Yeah. Save the plants. Blubbity blubbity blah. Whatever. Listen, you don't want to do that, dude. You want to do this. Do this. Do that. Oh, yeah, more plants. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, look. What plant now? Oh, really? You two? Oh, you're so ugly. Okay, whatever. Okay, fine. Do that. Yep. Give me this. Holy smokes! Getting out of here is crazy. Where's my laser gun? I think it's done shooting. Give me the laser gun. You. Yes, thank you. Come here. I got things for you to shoot today. First of all, shoot that, and this, and that. Oh, okay. It's something's wrong. Okay. Remember how I mentioned earlier in the stream about how if you have multiple laser guns, sometimes they break? Oh, wait a minute. No, they're not. Never mind. It's paused. But that is what. But that, by the way, is what happens if you have multiple laser guns and you try to use one that's already active and then you take an inactive one. It gets all confused and just pauses, right? And then the queue has to finish on the first one before it can start the second one. Okay, so you're not going to fix this road, dude. And that's why you had this paused, because this road's a mess. Right. Do that. Do this, and we'll move that down here. We'll click that and click this. All right, there you go. Now you can come down here. You can travel down here. Are you going to give these guys a road? Sure. I mean, we give everybody a road. Do that. There you go. And now you're going to come down here, and yes, you can get on. All right, that's fine. Now we can actually unpause. All right, now you can play with trains, Max, because except for this guy here who's complaining about not having a road. What's your problem, dude? Dude, there's a road right there. Just do that, would you? Okay, there we go. Final thing for the day is I'm probably going to pull all my hair out. We're going to save the game first. Because it's probably going to get ugly. And we are going to try out trains. Gee whiz. This is a bad idea. But sure, it's going to be fine. Everything's fine. It's going to be fine. I mean, look at all the traffic. I mean, this can't get any worse, right? No, it can't. Here, do that, would you? And you guys do this. There you go. Now, this is gonna make me very, very nervous. So Yep. Okay. So we have you ready to go. And all right, you're hooked in. I do got to hook this train station in up here, though, because if not, then obviously we can't deliver. All right, there we go. You're right. Yes, save. Max, are you going to save the game? Well, yeah, sometime soon. You say that. You keep saying that, but you haven't saved it yet, have you? No, but I'm getting there. Well, all right. Right there. Save the game. Yep, do that. Save. Come on, Max, save. Save the game. Do you want to make a new file? Sure. X11. Done. Okay, let's go crazy with trains and make sure that we don't blow things up. Back to the game. Train station Alpha. Yes, it is. Train lines. Well, we'll just take that one away. Let's have a new line. We'll just call it train line 1 for now. Let's add this. And we're going to add that. And this. And this. And this. And then back to this. And then back to this. And back to you. Which brings you back to the beginning. Awesome. All right. How many trains are we going to put on there to start? Let's try. Do you think 10's going to be enough? I don't know. I'm very nervous. Sure. 5 on either side. There's 5 stations. Yes. Okay, well, let's go with 10 and see what happens. Yep, good job, everybody. Good job. All right, so we got trains running around. Yeah, let's get them spaced out. We'll let them space out for a minute. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, look at that. These guys are going to use it. Hey, look at that. So the robot guys are like, yeah, I'll use your new train station. I mean, they could easily use the road, but they're not. All right. Well, this is good. I am fine with this. So they're going to use the new train station. What about these guys? Let's see. Look at that. Yeah, so some of these guys are going to use the new train station. They're like, some of them are going to drive on, and some of them are not. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. But this actually probably is good. That way we don't lose anything, so it's okay. Okay, this is an exception. This is for gas, and it's only an outline, so we're going to leave that alone for now. This means, what's going on down here? Are you delivering computers? Are any of you guys going to use my new train station? Yep, some of yous are. All right, well, that's pretty cool, actually. All right, well, awesome sauce. Yeah, so some of them are going to use the train station. Well, that's great. This is actually really cool. I'm looking forward to this. As soon as we can get some trains down here. Did I not put enough trains on here? Maybe I need more trains. I mean, I did put 10 trains on here. Let's go all the way up here and see where we are, right? Yeah, they're all kind of queuing up, aren't they? Now, this guy isn't picking up anywhere. He's just a drop-off point. So I'm assuming they gotta stop here for X amount of time, right? Yeah, like these guys aren't actually doing anything here. But I'm perfectly fine to let them space out, right? Like, we don't get signals in the game, so I am okay with these guys just kind of doing what they're doing, and with their auto signaling, and hopefully we'll see what happens here when they get all the way back around, right? How many more trains we got here? We got only 2 more trains. I may actually need more trains. In fact, like our first train's just starting to work its way back here now. Where are you guys at? Let's see. Yeah, like that. Like, you know what? I'm gonna actually add like 5 more trains. Do that. I don't know where you added those trains at, dude. But you added them somewhere. Okay. Sure. I mean, we've added more trains. I don't know why he's got his... I don't know why this guy's on the outside line. Why is that, dude? Does it think that it needs that outside line? I don't understand why that train's on that outside line. I didn't make a second line for that. But fine, whatever. Doesn't matter. That is what it is. It's what it's for. So let's see where we... this guy's... All right, so this guy is on his way back. All right, there he is. He's I'm assuming he does have computers on him. He actually has home robots. He has 12 home robots, which is actually pretty cool. So he's doing a job. And I think that's going to be enough trains, because that means there's 3 here. By the time this guy gets up here and circles back around, I think it'll be enough. They do have big capacity. As far as I know, they can hold like 400. I think it is. So I'm not sure on that number, but for some reason 400 sticks out in my mind. So the only thing is that you can't click on a train that's inside a train station, and that drives me crazy because, so they each have 400 capacity, right? I mean, in this case, it's not a numbers game. It's a delivery game. I'm not worried about their capacity overloading. I'm worried about the timing. Is my big concern. If that makes sense. If their timing is really bad, then obviously the city will collapse, right? And we don't want that. So we're gonna see. But I must admit that the trains do seem to be working decent, except for this one guy here. I don't know what he's thinking. Like, anyway, this guy is releasing stuff. Yes, do that, dude. I'm gonna sneeze. I'm probably going to sneeze like 3 more times here. Winter. I love you so much. Not really, though. Okay. Yep. So. Oh, my. Okay. Yes. Well, I mean, I'm glad to see that train stations are being used, and our little mini station here. Look at that. It's delivering stuff. That's awesome. That's exactly what we want. This is perfect, people. Let's throw some more housing in there. You gotta throw some food in here this time, dude. Don't forget that. All right. Do that. Okay. Yep, nice job on that double house. We'll fix that in a second. Okay. Yep. Get the double housing out of there. All right. Do this. And that one and this one. And how about them farms, people? Yep, there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. So, of course, this is the only time you really get any traffic in the city is when you put in a bunch of housing at once. Obviously, that makes the game really excited, and it's got to release a bunch of oxygen and a bunch of crazy stuff. That's why you try not to put too much housing in at one time, because, again, too much of anything at one time causes a lot of traffic chaos, right? And that's kind of the limit of what I would put into a block of any one time. This obviously cleared up pretty fast, but if I'd put too much more housing into it, it would have gotten ugly pretty quick, right? So, do you want to put water there? Yeah, let's put water there, dude. No, you've got water there. Is it going to be a problem? Well, I need to run some food here somewhere eventually. Don't get me wrong, these guys are doing a great job, but... well, let's just run a few of these down the backside. We'll do it that way. All right. Let's just double check these guys. That's 20, 20, 16, 20. What are you guys doing? 2, 20, 20, and 8. All right. Well, we'll watch that to be a little careful. Yeah, upgrades, people, upgrades. Well, I must admit the train is working much better than expected. And again, it's really too bad you can't click on a train and then, like tell it to go, like, follow the train. All you can do is tell it to go follow the stations. So it's kind of a bummer, but because it'd be really cool if, like, I could click on the train and, like, hit a button in the upper corner, and it would travel with you, like, travel with the train or the vehicle. Because you can do that obviously in, like, games like City Skylines and stuff, right? So now you shouldn't stop, dude. Like, you just made a U-turn. Yeah, go on, get out of here. Shoo, get. Scoot. All right. Yeah, like, you're just U-turning here, dude, and then get out of here. That's fine. So the trains are working, and I must admit they're working pretty good, which makes me very happy. That makes me extremely happy for today's episode. Look at you guys go. Look at you go with your little car on there. How about what do you got on there? 6 whole robots. Capacity is 400, but he's got 6 robots, or yeah, he's got 6 VR education on there. He's all that in a bag of chips, isn't he? What's this guy? He's got 11. Wow, he's really cleaning house. Power. You have a power problem, dude. Hey, how are you? Good. Listen, I see you have a power problem. Dude, I got you covered. Somewhere here. All right, well, just do that for now, and do this. There you go. You're all right. You'll be okay, dude. You'll be okay. These guys are more than full. All the things. Okay. Listen, you're not pew-pewing anything. Let's get some pew-pewing going on for an outro, right? Because that's always awesome. What do you want to shoot? Here, shoot that plant. Yeah, do that. While we have a look at the cranes and the things. There we go. So I think that's a pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal, people. Of course, this has been a decent day. It's another good day of laser pew-pewing and train running. And I must admit, the train is running better than I expected. I was a little concerned about putting it online at first, but it does seem to be figuring it out really, really good. Which is great, because if it does, I can take out the extra roadway, and we will just totally depend on the train system for delivering the stuff. But yeah, it's totally using the train networks now. That's exactly what we want. Let's go down here. Yep, same here, right? It's delivering all the VR. And I mean, we're at the far end of the map here, so I figured this would be the one that gives us the most trouble if it was going to give me any trouble. And sure enough, the city is growing. It's doing all the things. Yeah, I mean, it's looking really good. So what are we going to do on the next episode? First things first, we're probably going to have to expand. We're probably going to have to put in some new, I'll have more templates down for this, but we're probably going to have to put in some more VR education. We're probably going to need another robot factory. We'll probably, I don't know if we'll need another computer home appliance factory or not, but we will probably need more power at some point in time. Where are we at there? Yeah, so we are getting ready to push the power a little hard. We'll probably do some expansion on that, and at the same time, I would think I'm going to try and get this bridge back out of here. So with Mr. Spaceship, basically I'll wrap up anything that deals with concrete and brick, because I don't think there's a lot left. Thermal systems, nope, they don't. So the radiation shield, I think, is literally the passenger deck does have steel, but it doesn't have concrete. And then these guys have steel, and what about you? Yeah, the rest of these guys are all exotic junk, right? It's all fine. So I would like to get that bridge out of there for the next episode, and that way we can kind of just keep running right on down the Canyon Valley. You betcha. All the things. Another tip is already made. Clip it and ship it. Nice. So with that, I guess I should wrap things up. I'm Max. This has been InfraSpace GIGA, you betcha, as we are doing all the really cool things here in the city. And I see that the laser stopped shooting up there. Can we get a parting shot with the laser cannon? Oh, yeah, we're going to, right? Laser that. There we go. laser cannon here in the Canyon City as we are building our way down the canyon. Yep. No. What did you just target? Don't target anything else. Listen, stop targeting things. Stop that. Okay, there we go. No problem, Mouse. I appreciate it. Mr. O, it's good to see you. Sanchez. As always, I appreciate the stop by and the shouts and all the things. I want to thank you all very much for hanging out. Of course, I want to thank all recent subscribers and all the things as well. And, of course, those watching later on. I'm Max. This has been InfraSpace Giga. And don't forget to check the socials down in the video description. On Discord, of course, is where I post the daily stuff. I just posted my Steam Play of the Year. You know, it says I played a lot of games. And I don't know why it says that. But anyway, it says I played way too many games with almost 200 achievements and some silly stuff. I'm in the top 2%. That's how much games I play. I'm in the top 2% of Steam. That's very scary, people. That's very scary. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'm going to see you. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, don't forget Factorio for New Year's Eve. You know, it's important because we're going to be working on stuff in Factorio for New Year's Eve. I want to thank you all for hanging out, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.